Hi everyone and welcome back to Love Tom Tom. I'm here in Dublin, which means holidays are finished. It's time for part 2 of my long haul flight essentials. I'm actually, as sad as I am that holidays are over, I'm so glad that my long haul flight travels are finished. If you saw part 1 of my long haul flight essentials video, you would know that I actually hate flight. So my idea was to break up the flight into day and night. I had makeup on, I was dressed like I was ready for the day ahead. I spent some of the flight like that. Then as we went into evening, I was trying to trick my brain into thinking I was going to bed. So I did my nighttime beauty routine, I changed my clothes, and it actually worked. It gave me something to focus on. It broke the flight up a little bit. On the flight back to Dublin from Melbourne, I pretty much did the same thing. The only difference was I didn't have any makeup on to start with, so I didn't need to actually remove any of my makeup. I did still do my evening beauty routine, so a cleanse and serum and moisturizer, and it was really about keeping my skin hydrated. And if I'm honest, I've never done that on a flight before. I've just had kind of crappy wipes and a bit of moisturizer, but it was a really good thing to do. Number one, it gave me something to do, and I felt refreshed and my skin felt looked after. On my first flight from Dublin to Melbourne, I had loads of stuff. You can see it all in my first video. On the flight home then to Dublin, if I'm honest, I think there's maybe 4 or 5 products that I used. So main things: toothbrush, toothpaste, a must. This is Lucas's Paw Paw ointment. This is really good. I use this actually as moisturizer and lip balm. A must. Deodorant, of course. It's really hard not to get smelly on the plane. Then, because I wasn't wearing any makeup and I didn't have to take it off, I actually didn't do, I didn't need to actually wash my face. I had done that before. So I did wash my face throughout just with water, but not with a cleanser. The other things I used then was this as my moisturizer. It's one of my favorite products. If you've followed me on the blog and all the beauty bags, you would see that that is just my ultimate product. The other thing I used, and I got this a little while ago and I kept it for the plane, is in the Vichy Aquilia thermal range. I'm probably saying that wrong, is the Rich Cream. Now this was in like a little pack I got. Now I wouldn't normally use this day to day. I actually use the serum in this range and that's enough moisture for me, but on the plane this was fabulous. So every few hours on the plane I just gave my face a little splash with water, and then I went in with both of these things just to keep me refreshed. The other thing I found really useful was the thermal spray. This was good just to kind of pep me up a little bit, and Mr. B found this really useful as well. One thing I did struggle with on the plane, and I'm still struggling now, is my hair. So in Melbourne, I noticed that the water was different. Obviously, the climate was different. Sunshine, which means my hair's growing even longer and I'm ready for a haircut, but it just makes it a bit more difficult to manage. And on the plane, it was just a disaster. So dry shampoo, it's never as good as obviously washing your hair, but again, it just made me feel a little bit more human and normal. The other thing I was able to do on this flight back to Dublin was actually read. Now, I'm not a reader at the best of times, and if I have any kind of travel sickness, definitely no reading. So I wasn't able to read at all on the first flight, even though I had reading material. Anyway, this flight I was, and I had this book with me, Graham Norton's Holding, it's called. It's an easy read. It's a really good story. For me to say it's an easy read is an understatement because I'm not a reader, and I actually finished it, which is a huge achievement. So I'm glad I had that with me because I was getting kind of bored with the movies and things on offer. With all of that, I survived the flight. Long haul flights are just horrendous, so I'm glad that I had all of those beauty products with me and reading material to keep me entertained. It really made a difference And if you've got a flight coming up, I would suggest you do the same thing. Really look after your skin, and if you can, what you're eating, and have some things just to keep you entertained other than the movies, because as I said, they can kind of get a bit boring. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and jump over to the website. There's going to be some more holiday posts coming up. I'm going to be back here for the return of beauty bags for this year. They've been on a bit of a break, but I'm going to use here to get back into the swing of things. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.